Hello, boys and girls. It is Mr. Swart here, back again with another read aloud. And this time I figured, you know what, I should finish off Miss Child Has Gone Wild, because the last time I got into it, I think we read chapters 4 and 5, and I didn't really keep up with the YouTube channel because the school year had ended. And for the most part, I was making these videos for the kids in my class. And as we all know, the pandemic started, and so a lot of things we were doing were online and virtual. But it looks like I have probably a lot of other kids that would like to listen to these read-alouds, and I think I owe it to you to finish Miss Child Has Gone Wild. So we're going to get back into it. We're going to go right into chapter 6, maybe finish up chapter 7. And we'll finish up the story. So I'm excited to be back, and I hope you're excited to get right back into these read-alouds. If you would like for me to read anything, if you have any suggestions, feel free to put them in the comments below, and I will take a look at it, and I'll see if it's a good book to read aloud with everybody. All right, let's get into it. Chapter 6, Lulu the Gorilla. Let's go meet the gorillas, Miss Child said excitedly. She led us over a little wooden bridge to an area called Gorilla Gardens. There was a concrete wall, like the inside of a swimming pool, that curved down to where a gorilla was sitting. It was swatting flies and making grunting noises. It looked scary. Miss Child slid down the concrete wall on her bottom. "Isn't it dangerous to be so close to a gorilla?" Emily asked. "Of course not," said Miss Child. "Gorillas are almost like humans. They share nearly 98% of our DNA. Gorillas are our friends. Blah, 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 blah. This is my friend Lulu." Miss Child put her hands in front of Lulu's face and moved her fingers around. "What are you doing?" asked Mr. Granite. "I'm talking with Lulu," said Miss Child. "Lulu understands sign language?" I said. "That is cool." "Miss Child is sort of like Dr. Dolittle," said Michael. "She can talk with the animals just like him." "Lulu is very smart," Miss Child told us. "She understands more than 1,000 words." "That's more than some kids I know," said Andrea. "Oh, snap," said Ryan. Lulu made some signs with her hands. "What did she say?" asked Alexia. "Lulu says she wants to tell you kids a joke," translated Miss Child. "I like jokes," said Alexia. Lulu made some more signs with her hands. "What did she say?" asked Neil, the nude kid. Lulu asked, "Why did the raisin go out with the prune?" said Miss Child. "Why?" we all asked. Lulu made some signs. "Because he couldn't find a date," translated Miss Child. We all groaned. "I don't get it," said Emily. "That's a dumb joke," I said. Lulu made some more signs with her hands. "Lulu wants to tell you another joke," translated Miss Child. Lulu made some signs. "What did she say?" asked Michael. Lulu asked, "What's the difference between roast beef and pea soup?" translated Miss Child. "What?" we all asked. Lulu made some signs. "You can roast beef," Miss Child translated, "but you can't pea soup." We all groaned. "I don't get it," said Emily. "Lulu's jokes are lame," I said. Lulu stood up and started to grunt loudly and stamp her feet. "Why is she doing that?" asked Andrea. "Lulu is mad because you kids didn't laugh at her jokes," Miss Child told us. "That's because her jokes are terrible," said Ryan. "You should have laughed at them anyway," Miss Child told us. "You hurt Lulu's feelings." "Gorillas have feelings?" asked Neil, the nude kid. "Of course they do," said Miss Child. "All living creatures have feelings and blah, 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 blah." Lulu started making signs really fast to Miss Child. "What did she say?" asked Neil, the nude kid. "Lulu says children are stupid," translated Miss Child. "Oh, snap," said Ryan. "Stupid is not a nice word," said Andrea. "We're not supposed to say stupid." "If you ask me," I said, "Lulu shouldn't blame us just because her jokes are lame." "Yeah," said Michael. "She should learn some funnier jokes." "I think Lulu is just in a bad mood today," said Miss Child. Lulu started making more signs with her fingers. Mr. Granite and Miss Hannah tried to put their hands over our eyes so we couldn't see. "Don't look, kids," said Mr. Granite. What is Lulu saying? I asked as I tried to pull Mr. Granite's hands off my eyes. I can't tell you, Miss Child said. It's inappropriate for children. I think I saw Lulu make a sign that my dad once made to some guy in a car who cut in front of him on the highway. Lulu is using bad words, said Andrea. I think Lulu is cursing in sign language, said Alexia. That's not very nice, said Emily. Lulu should watch her language, said Andrea. We wanted to stick around and find out what Lulu was saying, but Mr. Granite and Miss Hannah told us we had to get out of there and go see some of the other animals. Gorillas are weird. All right, that's chapter 6, so let's take a look at chapter 7. Chapter 7 is called The Truth About Miss Child. Let's see what it's all about. We walked all over the zoo and saw a bunch of other animals. Birds, snakes, walruses, alligators, monkeys. Animals are cool. Did you know that there are more than 1 million species of animals on Earth? Said my zoo buddy Andrea. She is so annoying. Little Miss Know-It-All had to read every sign about every animal so she could go home and show her parents how smart she is. Soon, it was time for lunch. We walked back to the room where we left our backpacks. Everybody took out a lunchbox, except for one person. Me. Where's my lunch? I said to Miss Hannah. Your lunch is wherever you left it, AJ, she told me. I hate when grown-ups say that. Arlo must have left his lunch bag at school, said Andrea. I guess he wasn't paying attention when Mr. Granite told us to be sure to take our lunch with us. I wasn't paying attention to your face, I told Andrea. All the kids sat at a long picnic table to eat their lunch. Mr. Granite and Miss Hannah sat at another table for grown-ups. Miss Child said she would get me a sandwich from the zoo cafeteria. She said I could have a turkey or a tuna sandwich. Do you have turkeys or tuna in the zoo? I asked. It would be weird to eat a sandwich made from an animal they have running around the zoo. We have turkeys in the zoo, Miss Child said. Then I'll have a tuna sandwich, I told her. Miss Child ran out and came back with a tuna sandwich and a carton of milk for me. I'll be back in a few minutes, she told us. I promised the baboons that I would eat lunch with them today. Miss Child is weird, Alexia said when she left. Yeah, I think she loves animals a little too much, said Michael. Maybe she's not a zookeeper at all, I said. Did you ever think of that? What do you mean? Asked Emily. Well, I said, maybe Miss Child kidnapped a real zookeeper and is just pretending to be a zookeeper because she's obsessed with animals. Stop trying to scare Emily, said Andrea. I'm scared, said Emily. Maybe Miss Child locked the real zookeeper in a cage filled with poisonous rattlesnakes, said Alexia. Stuff like that happens all the time, you know. We've got to do something, shouted Emily. And then she ran out of the room. Sheesh! Get a grip. That girl will fall for anything. After Emily ran away, Alexia gave me a high five, and Andrea gave me a mean face. All right, boys and girls, that was chapters 6 and 7 of Miss Child Has Gone Wild. If you enjoyed that, leave a like, subscribe if you have not subscribed yet, and leave a recommendation below in the comments of what you think I should read next. But either way, we're still going to get into chapters 8 and 9 for the next video for Miss Child Has Gone Wild, but still put those recommendations down there. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next one. All right, bye, guys.